How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
The beat, man. I love that beat. Old school,
Shout out
90s hip hop beat.
That's exactly what I told him. I was like, hey, bro, I need like a 90s East Coast boom bap beat. And he's like, bro, I got you.
Boom bap. Good thing you didn't confuse it with the boom bop from the 50s, because then that would have been very awkward going into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So I'm just sitting here and I'm like looking through Tapology. And it's like build your own rankings. And like I was just thinking of like the nicknames on here, you know, like Holly, the preacher's daughter home.
Yeah.
Not a very good one.
It was good. It was kind of gimmicky, right? But it was good for its time when Holly had her moments, you know? I was okay with it.
You think it was good?
I liked it. I also like that song.
What I think is good is the fact that you could find us on Spotify, Breaker, Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like the content, please like, subscribe. You can always find us on social media as well, right, Will?
Yeah, and when you subscribe, click the bell. I know everybody talks about it, but now that we're doing the live streams and stuff, it'll notify you like when we go live. So you can just get the notification, be like, oh shit, I'll watch this, you know, and then hop in. And we got Story of the Fight at Story of the Fight on Instagram, Twitter, and then we have obviously YouTube as well. And then we have the group chat for discussions on Facebook, the Story of the Fight chat,
which is always fun. Which is always fun. Like I said, I've been more active on Twitter as well. But man, you know, being active on Twitter is like the reason I like it, like as the fights goes, because it's very similar to the fight companions that we just did for bare knuckle fighting. So if anybody wants to check those out and kind of get an idea of what that would be like, check out the fight companion from bare knuckle fighting, which was Battle of the Baddies, Rachel Ostovich versus Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah.
And then last night.
Yeah, and shout out Baby Drew was hanging out with us last night. Hell of a card last night.
Baby Drew, what up? From LA, if I remember correctly. Baby Drew from LA.
Yeah, and man, if you want to go back and watch that fight companion, I just finished putting the timestamps in it. So if you want to watch a specific fight with us over it, the timestamps are all there, so you can click on specific fights and line it up. I just rewatched rounds 4 and 5 from the main event.
Well, that's a perfect segue.
Yeah,
TJ Dillashaw,
Sandhagen
versus Corey Sandhagen. So rewatching the 4th and 5th round, are you still in agreement for the main event there on the result?
No, I think Sandhagen should have taken it. It's so close.
2, 4, and 5.
2, 4, and 5. Sandhagen. Yeah,
that's what I had.
So I went back and rewatched it, right? Because I thought 5 was a clear Sandhagen round. I thought 2 was the clearest round of the whole fight. I thought Dillashaw probably won round 1 and 3, right? So it was 2-2 in my opinion going into the 5th, and I thought the 5th was a clear Sandhagen. So I was like, okay, the 4th is the closest, so let's go back and rewatch that. Rewatching it, I still think Sandhagen did enough. And what's interesting is when you look at look at that knee, man.
Why does TJ Dillashaw look like he was 70 years old as he was getting kneed? Oh, damn, bro.
Not that Dos Anjos looks like he's but I was going they post the scorecards now, right? All the time. So I went back.
No, he looks like Glover Teixeira.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
He does.
But I went back. Darrick clearly scored it for Sandhagen, right? He had 2, 4, and 5. So I'm in agreement with Darrick clearly. Not sure how I feel about that, but Sal D'Amato gave the 4th to Sandhagen, but the 5th to Dillashaw. And I'm like, how the fuck do you think that? I don't see that personally. And then Camijo, the other judge, gave the 5th to Sandhagen, but the 4th to Dillashaw. So we have the 2 judges that said Dillashaw won don't even agree on what rounds he won. That's how close this fight was.
And I think it came down to what those judges thought when it came to TJ clinching Sandhagen up against the fence, having his back.
Yeah.
And you saw in the picture that Richard Casual put up with the elbow out of the break, He get a couple shots off the break, but there was this time of inactivity for Sandhagen where he's just fighting the hands of TJ Dillashaw, which probably swayed the judges in one other direction during those rounds.
Yeah,
I felt like it was 3-2 Sandhagen.
Yeah, 2, 4, and 5.
Yeah, but dude, just so much props to TJ Dillashaw because after the first round, his knee was busted.
Yeah.
His knee was busted. Then he dealt with a massive cut, which Richard Casual just had up right now too, right over his eye. Look at that. It's a gash.
It's nice to have Rich. Rich is fucking on it, man.
Richard Casual.
We got to get Rich the Casual on one of the live streams for the fights.
One day, and that would kind of force him to watch fights at that point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll probably be like playing Smash Bros in the background while we're watching the fights, just like clicking a button,
Yeah.
But just the heart, the grit that TJ Dillashaw displayed, and it's a reminder of why he was a champion.
Yeah, I mean 100%. And he made the big mistake of saying in the post-fight press conference that he came in with a torn MCL already, and he had a shoulder injury. He was dealing with some injuries in this camp. Obviously, the cut was an injury he sustained in the camp as well. But you don't say that, right? He said he didn't want to talk about it because he didn't want it to seem like an excuse. He probably didn't want to he probably didn't want to have the fight be postponed by the doctors, right? He probably wanted to go through with the fight, not have him be forced to pull out. But you also don't say that because now he's got to pay out of pocket for those surgeries.
Yeah.
He fucked himself. The UFC pays for it if it's an injury sustained in the fight.
Fight-related, right?
That's why you don't talk about it until after the fight. If you won at least. And then you say, yeah, man, he fucking popped my knee good. My shoulder's having some issues too, I noticed in the fight. You get it all paid for.
Yeah.
But the tough guy, you need to say that you went into it with injuries. Make sure
the ego
more impressive. Yeah.
The ego. Yeah, but dude, it was such a blast just covering that main event with in the Fight Companion. Just if you weren't on the Fight Companion, we talked about we plan on having Fight Companions probably during fight nights. Fights at the Apex probably be the best time because for like the big UFC pay-per-view events, we usually just focus in on the fights at that point in time and just get ready for the recaps.
Yeah, have people over.
Baby Drew saying, wow, didn't think about that. Yeah, that's huge. We're talking thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars that he could have saved himself for, Mindy, my wife just had knee surgery not that long ago. I'm telling you right now, not cheap.
Not cheap.
Not cheap. Not cheap. Yeah. And that was just a meniscus tear that we took care of. So imagine like an MCL and the rehab that goes into that. And oh man. All right. Well, I mean, anything else you want to cover on the main event? Well, other than what's next for Dillashaw? What's next for Sandhagen?
Remember they were talking about potentially.
Hey, hold on. Time out. This is something I did want to cover as well.
Yeah.
Take those fucking glasses off.
He earned it, in my opinion, with the nasty cut.
No, look, I remember a long time ago, DC said when he first met John Jones, he saw John Jones inside wearing sunglasses. And he said there's two reasons that people wear sunglasses inside. One, they're blind.
Yeah.
Two, they're assholes.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, TJ Dillashaw is not blind.
He might be one where last night.
Oh, that's a hilarious pick though, Rich.
Yeah, remember when they were talking about TJ coming back, who's he going to fight, all this stuff, and they were talking about Uriah Faber. Could you imagine if TJ came back? I mean, going into it, we don't really know what TJ is going to be like, right? With the long layoff, no EPO, all that shit, right? So we don't know who we're going to be getting. Now we know who we got. Could you imagine if he fought Faber last night? Would not have been good.
For who?
For Faber.
I don't think anybody for Faber is good anymore. And like I said, I'm a huge Faber fan.
But like, I mean, TJ didn't look like he lost a step until the knee tore, right?
Yeah.
He looked just as good. And the fact that he carried on through the whole fight and won multiple rounds after that second round shows you that a non-compromised TJ at this point is still
elite.
Very, very elite.
1%.
Probably, I think he probably beats Piotr Jan. He definitely.
I don't think he probably beats him. I think he definitely beats Piotr Jan. I think without a doubt he beats Aljo. Yeah. Because in my opinion, the best bantamweight outside of TJ Dillashaw before he came back was Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah, I believe that too. And I think
I really do.
I think they will rematch, and it's going to be TJ defending his belt against Sandhagen.
It will happen again.
Yeah.
Just like Dirty Mike and the Boys. Did you ever watch that movie?
The
guys?
Yeah.
Where he guarantees we will have sex in your car again.
Yeah.
I guarantee Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw will fight again.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Did you see Sandhagen? He said he talked to either Mick Maynard or Sean Shelby after the fight. Dude, he looks so down, man. But
he looked down. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, how could you?
It's the fight game, though.
Yeah, but he talked about how either Sean Shelby or Mick Maynard was like, "Yeah, I can't do anything about that," but Corey asked him or made him promise that he's still one fight away from a title shot, and they said yes, and so Sandhagen made him pinky promise.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, hey, so know Sandhagen's 1 win away from a title shot because you cannot break
like a fucking contract.
Yeah.
Dude, so Sean Shelby's pretty serious then.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like this is just
Bro, the interview is so funny. I think it's with Megan Levy. Yeah, and he's just like so depressed. You could tell he's like, yeah, talked about it, and yeah. So he said I was 1 fight away. I made him pinky promise. So
like dead serious.
Yeah, dude, it's dead serious.
Dude, but
funny, man.
If it works, it's a copycat league, right? So going forward, you're gonna see people run up to the side of the cage, like sticking their pinky through the cage, like, "Hey, come on, pinky promise me right now."
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
But TJ, goddamn man, the guy, he talks about being able to be a different fighter in between rounds, right? And we saw that, dude. His approach from the first round, the adjustments he had to make with the compromised leg, got fucked up in the second round, and then goes out and wins the third round pretty decisively, in my opinion.
Yep.
I think that round easily went to TJ. And the changing of the game plans to start attacking the legs, and that'll open up your hands. Like I said, I still don't think it was enough to warrant the win, but it's far from a robbery.
Yeah, you know? It was a good fight.
Very impressive, man.
You know, what Dillashaw always reminds me of in his footwork is capoeira.
Yeah, he's very like this.
Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah. You ever watch Bob's Burgers?
No.
Oh man, there's a capoeira character, and it just reminds me of Michelle Pajeda so much, dude.
There's a capoeira character.
Yeah,
does he just walk around doing capoeira?
He'll do it, and he'll just be like, "Huh, Brazil!" Like it's so funny, man. You need to watch that show. It's
I do have to watch it. I have to watch it. All right, man. Anything else on the main event other than Sandhagen? You mentioned yesterday, Sandhagen versus Rob Font is a fight to make for both of them.
Yeah, both of them. Title shot.
If you're Sandhagen and you're saying I want to be 1 shot away from the title, Rob Font is ascending right now. That's a perfect win. And then for Rob Font to be able to prove you're one of the best bantamweights in the world, who better to beat than Corey Sandhagen? I think if he beats Sandhagen decisively, he might be 1 or 2 shots away from the title too.
I think if he beats Sandhagen decisively, that's a title fight, eliminator fight
for sure.
I think,
and then like Petr Yan and Aljamain, just like we keep on moving them down a little bit.
No, I mean, they're still good too, man. I would love to see Petr Yan versus Rob Font. I think that stylistically is such a good fight. But here we have, they're going to fight in October, right? Aljo and Petr Yan. And then TJ's going to be out. He's going to have to get his knee looked at. He's going to be out. So it's perfect. That's going to line up perfectly. He'll fight the winner of Aljo versus Yan. And then Sandhagen, in the meantime, can also get a fight in. And nobody better than Rob Font.
Yep.
So then Rob Font versus Sandhagen is going to be taking place while Dillashaw versus Petr Yan is taking place, most likely timetable-wise, right? It's perfect. Whoever wins that fight will fight the winner of Dillashaw in his title fight. So it's so perfect. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, the timing is really good too.
Yeah.
Rob Font probably already pretty recovered from the fight against Cody.
Yeah, not much recovery there. I don't think Sandhagen was very damaged in this fight.
Didn't look like it.
Yeah, they're going to have to wait no matter what. It's perfect. The division it makes so much sense right now at the top, and that's so rare. You know, it's always such a clusterfuck at the top. This division makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the 5 through 15 that makes no sense right now.
You know, in the same division, we have Paiva versus Kyler Phillips.
Yeah, what a great fight, man.
Fight of the night.
Night.
Dude, look at those locks, though.
Yeah, he's got the fade going there. A slight fade over the ear right there.
Pretty
serious.
Are
you talking about Phillips?
Yeah, why would I be talking about Paiva?
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing like special about the fade.
Hey, the fade's tricky when you got the sideburns right there.
Paiva's locks, so look at that, man.
Yeah, looking good.
You know who else has locks like that? Rich the Casual.
Yes, he does.
Rich the Casual. Yes, but man, we talked about this being. He just popped in real quick to show the locks.
Yeah.
We talked about this being fight of the night last night. Phillips looked fantastic that first round. Almost had Paiva out. I thought they could have stopped the fight.
They could have stopped it. I cannot believe the one judge that gave that a 10-8 round, Salty Amato.
Oh shit!
How did he get it right?
Hey, if you're the other judges, you got to be asking yourselves.
Well, Chris Lee gave it a 10-9. That guy, I think it's like out of all the split decisions, he's like 70% of the time he's the one that went with the other fighter.
Yeah, and look, dude. So Paiva coming out second and third round, you know, start getting a couple takedowns here and there.
Yeah,
a little bit of ground and pound. I didn't think that it damaged Phillips too much, but more than anything, he started controlling the octagon a little bit more at that point in time.
Yeah, I still don't know. I need to go back and rewatch it. I still don't know if I give that second round to Paiva. It seemed to me like that was still kind of a Phillips round, but now I'm looking at the stats, which I don't always agree with. It says Paiva outstruck him almost 2-1.
Now, it was the last minute, I think, that might have changed our minds, because I think that's where Paiva finished kind of turtled up a little bit, and Phillips just kind of, you know, taking his back and hitting him with a few shots. So maybe I was just heavily influenced by that last minute.
Could be. It's hard too doing the fight companions.
Like with the general, dude.
I can't believe Faber was the translator.
Yeah, you know, that's a really good point.
It was awesome. I wasn't really listening to what he was saying, but
don't know how well he was translating, but he was definitely the translator there.
Yeah, it's tough to score the fights during the fight companions. It's tricky.
Yeah, because we get so riled up too.
You get riled up. You're talking about all these baby Drew and Aaron and all these people, Corey, and it's like it's tough to really focus on scoring it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we go off on little tangents here and there about different shit too, you know what I mean? But it's fun. It's a blast.
Talk about Tech 9.
Oh, dude, one of the best stories ever. Richard Casual, you're gonna have to go back and watch that, man. It was
I might put a timestamp in just for the Tech 9 story.
You absolutely should. Absolutely should. But hey, Kyler Phillips, he's only 9-2 right now. Still very young in the fight game. Yeah,
and I feel for him, man, because he Paiva took this fight on short notice, right? He was filling in for a Sunsao. That's a gamble for Phillips to accept that fight, right? And unfortunately, it didn't end up in his favor. Got fight of the night, so he gets an extra $50,000, which is nice. But
then if he fought a Faber,
but if he fought a Sunsao, right? That's a much better fight for Phillips.
Yep.
Right. I think he beats a Sunsao, and that's a bigger name. It's a higher ranking opponent. It sucks that he was game, took the fight on short notice. He accepted the fight, I guess I should say. Didn't work out for him. Paiva, though, took the moment. You know, he sees his opportunity. And I'm excited to see him fight because that guy's tough as hell, man. To survive that first round.
This shouldn't be a surprise either. Again,
no.
We talked about yesterday the level of competition that Paiva has been facing leading up to this Phillips fight. And he's been in there with some dogs, man. So, Paiva's no slouch.
No. And he proved it. I mean, that was a great fight. And I think a lot of people were watching this card for Dillashaw's return, and putting this in the co-main slot is pretty cool. Both these guys' stocks went up tremendously. Yeah, Brazil.
All right. Before that, we had Darren Elkins versus Darrick Minner.
Darrick Minner. What a fucking fight, man.
This could have also gone fight of the night.
Yeah. I mean,
don't get me wrong. The other one was definitely the right pick, but this could have.
Did he not get a performance of the night? He did. Okay, yeah.
Elkins did.
Yeah, and I mean that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we take a look at Darren Elkins, we talked about the nickname, The Damage, right?
The damage.
And one of the questions I had is his nickname the Damage because he takes a lot of damage or because he gives a lot of damage? And I think it's safe to say it's both.
Yeah.
So here we see Elkins. At this point, I'm not sure if he's still alive. Like you have Minner holding his head up.
Fucking neon belly, man.
Neon belly, beating the shit out of him. Cutting him up. And then boom. Just like that. As
first
Goldie
round,
used to say.
First round, man, rest in peace, Goldie. First round, first round, 19 strikes for Minner, 4 for Darren Elkins. Second round, 16 for Elkins, 0 for Minner. I mean, talk about flipping the switch in between rounds. Darren Elkins, man, you just cannot. You have to kill that guy, otherwise, he's just gonna come back and fuck you up.
Elkins.
How many times have we seen this scene right here where he's getting the shit beat out of him, then he comes from behind, finishes the fight, and then just goes on that like primal rampage through the octagon celebrating.
So just this one right here, this primal rampage right here. Like if you were to just show me this image, I'd be like, oh, which fight was this?
Yeah,
because we see this so often. You know what I mean? You could barely see Minner in the background. You see a ref calling something off, but dude. Seriously, like you're absolutely right. This image is just it's happened so many times.
Yeah, and his comeback against Mirsad Bektic, right? Just fucking. I mean, I love watching Darren Elkins fight. It's like a bittersweet thing because it's like, well, I'm gonna probably watch this dude get the piss beat out of him for the first round, and hopefully he can overcome it. He doesn't always, right? But he has multiple times now, and it's like you pull for it, man. You just want to see that.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at his last few fights. He went on this little losing streak.
He said he was talking about before this fight was talking to his wife about retiring.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like, man, those conversations got to be so tough when you're in the UFC, but you're not anywhere near the top 5, right? So it's like, am I doing this to become a champ? Is this just my job? Like what am I doing this for, right? Man, if you're doing it to learn about yourself, Darren Elkins probably has accomplished that more than anybody. Right?
I was gonna say he knows more about himself than anybody else in the world, more than Gandhi.
More than Gandhi. Yeah, man.
Weird comparison, but
yeah. But man, I mean,
he went on a little rampage though. Mirsad Bektic, Dennis Bermudez. Don't forget how good Dennis Bermudez was when he was on a roll too. He beat Michael Johnson,
and again, a fight that Michael Johnson finds a way to lose these fights that he's easily winning. But you pair that up with Darren Elkins, that fight. You knew what was going to happen before that fight even started.
Then he loses to Alexander Volkanovski, Ricardo Lamas,
which
Ryan Hall.
Ages very well.
Yeah, Nate Landwehr. So he had 4 losses in a row, and now he's on a 2-fight winning streak again.
Yeah, you love to see it, man. He seems like such a good dude.
He does.
Really nice. He's just open book, too, with his emotions. You love to see that.
Love it. All right. Anything else on that fight, Will?
No, not really. Textbook Elkins fight. If you wanna like watch something to get yourself pumped up and like feel something, you watch a Darren Elkins fight and then go hit the gym or some shit. You know what I mean?
It's like pre-workout.
Yeah, dude, it really is.
That's hilarious. So before this, we had Maycee Barber versus Miranda Maverick. This is probably the decision that I was most disappointed with, personally.
Pretty bad. Worst decision I've seen in a while.
I mean, yeah, Maycee kept on coming in with those issues with the distance, long looping shots from far away, and then
that
Maverick,
was the story of the fight right there.
With the
Maverick
kicks,
landing that body kick over and over and over again. Every time Barber would try to close the distance, she's getting blasted the body with that kick,
which kept Barber at bay.
Yeah.
And here's one of those long shots we were talking about.
Yeah, 2 judges gave Barber the second round. I need to rewatch it, but I mean, watching it live, obviously, like I said during the fight companion, it's hard to score, but it seems like pretty much everybody agrees that this was a pretty bad decision. I saw the media scorecards, where all the reporters and stuff. Every single one gave Maverick the win.
Wow,
not one.
How about Verdict MMA? Did we see that?
Oh, I hadn't checked that out. No.
Okay, I wonder how it was scored globally.
Yeah, I can tell you my best guess. is that everybody gave it to Maverick.
I mean, probably.
Except for Barber's dad. Just sad that she went to alpha male. He's just like, I think she won.
Dude.
That's the future still.
Like I said, maybe it was just all the hype that was behind Maycee Barber too. And the performances we've seen lately that made me just so like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Miranda Maverick, I thought still looked good. She had a good game plan.
Yeah, she looked great. She looked great.
Well.
I think she's still trying to polish some things up, right? And she's gonna learn from this fight. She already posted saying she's not mad or anything like that. She said she felt like she maybe got a little complacent in the third round, and that's something you learn, right? You think, hey, I just won the first 2 rounds. I can just survive this third, and I'll be good. You can't, because until we get open scoring in between rounds, you do not know what they saw. You might feel like you won the first 2 rounds easily. Everybody else might think you won the first 2 rounds, but all that matters is 2 of those judges have to also agree with you, and if they don't, you cannot coast. You just can't fucking coast. So
before
learning
this,
lesson.
well, Maverick started off her career 2-2, goes on a 7-fight winning streak.
Yeah,
and then was broken last night by this.
It's unfortunate, man.
Bad decision. Yep, unfortunate.
Yeah. It might be good for her. She might, she's going to learn from it. I don't think she's ready for a title shot anytime soon. So maybe a setback will allow her to give her some more time before she eventually, because she will eventually fight for the title. Maybe she needed, because once you start getting like an 8-fight win streak, 9-fight win streak, you might jump the line, right? That might be enough to get you a title shot, and she's not ready yet. So maybe this is ultimately better for the longevity of her career, that she gets this setback now, and she can learn and grow as a fighter before she eventually does fight for the belt.
And like you said, the way that she handled it, handling it very well, so probably has the ability to go back and learn a lot from this. Very similar to another fighter that we talked about yesterday, and Adrian Yanez, who faced Randy Costa. Yeah.
Fucking great fight, man.
Look how happy these two look in the face-off.
I know.
They're just like, hey, we're about to beat the shit out of each other. I love you, dude.
Costa's like, get ready for this first round, and I'm going to throw at you. And dude, that was the first round. The whole round.
Okay, so the 2 things that really stick out to me the most on this one. One, the jab. Everything that Randy Costa was throwing was connecting. But then the lack of head movement from Yanez. Coming in, he continued pressuring, but he continued pressuring just with his head in a straight line, centered.
Yeah. It
was a little tough to watch that first round.
Close, so 50 head strikes from Costa in that first round landed.
Hey, I wonder
115.
I wonder if that doctor was there and goes up to him. He's like, "Hey, does your head hurt?
Did your head hurt?
You got a little headache?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful first round from Costa. Honestly, coming out of the first round, I thought to myself, like, man, if this might just be a landslide victory for Costa if he continues.
Yeah, we saw kind of like the tide starting to kind of change a little bit in the last minute of the first round. Yanez started making the adjustments. Costa kind of started slowing down, and then
those body shots.
Yeah, that second round confirmed that what that last minute wasn't just like a fluke good minute for Yanez. He came out in the second round and was right in his face. Costa was considerably slower. I don't know if he maybe gassed. There's 3 things, right? He could have gassed. He could have had an adrenaline dump, and Yanez could have made the adjustments.
I think all 3.
3 of those things probably happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, when Yanez got him up against the cage, he rips those 2 shots to the body, pause between the guard, just opens it up just enough to land that fucking big uppercut that sits him down.
Richard Casual. See, this is why we need you, Richard Casual, on the Fight Companions, man. You're just on it.
I know. It's just like every time we mention something, here it is.
But dude, it was a very fun fight, and I think you're the one that had mentioned yesterday. We needed to see something like this from Yanez. We needed to see him go through some adversity there, to see how he bounces back, to see how he reacts, to see if he can adjust, make the adjustments.
You need, because we talk about Darren Elkins, right? Darren Elkins knows who he is. He knows himself because of those moments. If you're a Yanez character and you're rising through the rankings rapidly, you're getting a lot of focus on you, all these things, you're looking real good, you're flawless, and then you don't want the first time you're tested in a fight to be in like a title eliminator fight. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're somewhere where you've never been before, and you don't know if you can dig deep. Now, if he gets in that moment, he can remember back on this fight and say, no, I can fight through this. This isn't the end of this fight just because I'm losing. I can dig deep and I can come back from this. I've done it in the past. And that type of confidence in those moments will carry you, right? You don't want that to be you don't want to get your eyes open to that situation in a very important fight, right? So now we know, and now he knows.
A lot of bantamweight fights last night. I'm not mad.
No,
a lot of action.
There's so many good bantamweights that you have to just keep stacking cards with them because
I'm a big Yanez fan, though.
Yeah,
big Yanez fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do some big things. All right.
Yeah.
Before that, we had Brendan Allen versus Punahele Soriano, also known as Puna. Dude.
What a fucking fight, man.
The power, Hawaiian power that Puna has is insane, man. Every time he connected with something on Allen, like it would push Allen back.
What a cool picture.
It would push Allen back.
Yeah. Snapped his head back. He hits so fucking hard, man.
But at the same time, with all that power going in, like so much power going into the shots, comes great responsibility. No, but I mean, just how much energy does that take?
Yeah, and if you don't get the finish, what are the scorecards going to look like? And if you look at it, 2 judges had Brendan Allen winning all 3 rounds. I thought first round you could go Soriano. It is a toss-up. That was by far the closest round. Mm-hmm. But you could see him start to slow considerably in the second and third. And Brendan Allen just maintained a steady pace. Those kicks to the body. Oh, my God. Very diverse in Allen, right? And I expected more grappling out of Allen in this fight. So we got some more looks. I love watching these prospects like this go to decision. You know what I mean? Just because I want to see them get a full 15 minutes and see what they can do with 15 minutes. And Brendan Allen showcased the differences, right? Because Soriano...
Right on the ribs. Look at that.
Yeah. Soriano had he attacked well, right? He's landing big shots, all these things. But he doesn't have the diversity that Brendan Allen had. He didn't have the cardio that Brendan Allen had. He had the toughness, right? They're both tough as hell. They both ate massive shots. But we got to see Brendan Allen kind of separate from the pack of prospects a little bit in this fight, and start to showcase like, hey, I might be a little bit ahead of all these other guys.
But that's the thing for Puna Soriano too, is like you got to realize like there's a lot of other tough fighters.
Yeah.
A lot of other tough fighters that are probably going to be able to eat your shots as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the wild shots, and throwing big shots out of position, eventually it's going to catch up to you. But he's such an exciting fighter.
I mean, it's you're going to be on the edge of your seat every time you watch him fight.
Yep.
You're just because all it takes is one. There was a couple times where I thought Brendan Allen was going to go down when he would time the kick sometimes to land that big overhand. I was like, dude, that's how you drop somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You time that kick. Unfortunately for him, Brendan Allen was like, I can eat this all day. But we're going to see some knockouts from Soriano.
For sure. This was only Soriano's 9th fight. This was Brendan Allen's 21st fight.
Yeah.
Little bit of an experience gap there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun fight. Puna Soriano gave it his all. Brendan Allen just was a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
And very well-rounded, Brendan Allen.
Yeah.
Very well-rounded. All right. Before that, Imavov versus Heinisch.
Imavov is... Did you ever see that movie It Follows?
It Follows?
Yeah.
No.
Bro. All right.
Is this from Dread Element?
No. Shout out Dread Element, Baby Drew. Check it out on YouTube. But It Follows is a horror movie, right? And it's so fucking cool, man. It's
the one about the sex.
It's about sex. It's I don't want to give too much of it away because you definitely need to watch it. But it's like a slow stalking. It's slow stalking, never gonna stop. And that's Imavov, right? So calm, cool, and collected, just walking you down, landing his shots when he needs to, and eventually
his hands by his waist.
Yeah, just so slick and slow and calm. It's deceptive, man. I think he kind of lulls you a little bit, and then he rips, and eventually
Sean
will break
O'Malley.
you down.
You know, because Sean O'Malley has that like really loose style where his hands and his arms are down by his waist, and you know when he throws a shot, you don't know if it's a jab, if it's a hook, because it's just coming from the bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not as much countering, right? As O'Malley, because O'Malley right likes to wait, and you come in and he darts and he angles off and catches you. But yeah, very similar. Imavov just like he's seeing everything, right? So he's like, I can have my hands down here. I can just walk towards you. Heinisch just really had nowhere to go, man. He looks stuck.
If MMA were the Olympics,
oh shit,
right? Which country would be winning gold?
Damn.
It's a tough one, right?
Yeah. It's hard to say. I would say either America or Russia, I think, would probably dominate it.
Africa would say, I don't know.
I think there would be a lot of decisions in Olympic MMA, and I think it'd be a lot of wrestling. I think wrestling would dominate the Olympics because you think about it, they have to be amateurs, right? You can't have professional fighters. So I think there's a lot of nasty amateur wrestlers who would be like, I could do MMA.
Yeah.
In the Olympics?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. But
I
dude,
would love to see
Imavov looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Looked fantastic.
I'm very excited to see more from him. I think he's someone to watch, man. 10-3 now. Just fought Ian Heinisch. Was Ian Heinisch ranked?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, let's get him in there, you know.
But we should see Imavov moving up in the ranks for sure.
I mean, he looks like a top 15 at least, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he beat, Jordan Williams, lost to Phil Haas, and then just beat Ian Heinisch. So
split decision to Phil Haas, or was it?
Majority decision.
Okay. What is that? That's split then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more from him. I think he's really talented. He has a cool style. You know, just slow and steady.
Especially for that size.
Yeah. And that's something that, I mean, he got exhausted a little bit in the Phil Haas fight from what I remember. But that's a great pace to set. If you can slow people down and then go when you want to, if you set the pace and that's your pace, nice and slow, dude, he's dangerous. He's real dangerous.
For sure. All right. Well, before that, I always look forward to watching Mickey Gall fight. But we had Mickey Gall versus Jordan Williams, and I don't know why I'm such a big Mickey Gall fan.
Yeah, he gets a lot of hate, man, but I like him.
Is he a little douchey sometimes? Does he seem a little douchey sometimes? Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but which fighters don't?
Everybody has their moments.
I'll tell you this. He doesn't walk in with shades on. He's not indoors with shades on.
It's true. He's not.
You know?
I think Matt Brown would smack him in the back of the head and knock him off if he did. You see Matt Brown in his corner just looking pissed off at the world. That guy is so intimidating, man. I love Matt Brown.
So do I. But dude, Mickey Gall just doing what he does best, huh?
Yeah. Really, this was a Mickey Gall fight.
Yeah, and Jordan Williams dropping from 185 down to 170 for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he came out aggressive that first round. There was that part where like they were really close to each other, and Gall throws that small right hook right there.
Yeah. Whoa.
Richard Castle. There we go. That small right hook, and it hurt Jordan. You could tell
Mickey Gall has some power, man, and he's gonna continue getting better, dude. I mean, the Mike Perry fight was a little disappointing if you're a Mickey Gall fan, just because of how Mike Perry's looked as of late. But man, you're training with Matt Brown, you're gonna get better. He's tough as nails. He lands such weird, like kind of sneaky shots, you know. I think we got him too early in the UFC.
And this is just what I was about to tell you. Pop quiz, Will. He's had 10 fights.
Yeah.
How many of those in the UFC?
Like 8 or 9.
9 fights.
Yeah.
9 fights in the UFC. So he fought once, and Dana White was going around, for the Contender Series. He calls out CM Punk. Dana White says, "You know what? I kind of like that matchup for CM Punk."
Yeah.
And
Shouldn't have.
Comes into the UFC one professional fight in. And my man's, this is his 9th fight in the UFC now.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
By the time this is all said and done, he might go down as one of the fighters that has the most fights on the UFC roster.
Yeah, could be, right? He's still so young. He's still winning fights here.
He's 29 years old. Oh, look at that rear naked choke. Looks tight, man.
It was, dude.
Looks so tight. And I feel bad for Williams.
Dude, textbook groundwork from Mickey Gall, man. What a cool sequence when he takes his back and he gets this hook in, and it's like, oh, can't get it. Switch to this one. Switch to this one. Switch to this one. And then he gets it, and it's like, man, he just kept switching sides for the choke, and you can only defend it so many times, you know. You eventually you will get got.
So Imavov had 2 fights in the Contender Series, won one, lost one. I'm sorry, Jordan Williams.
Yeah.
Jordan Williams had 2 fights in the Contender Series, won one, lost one. 2 fights in the UFC so far, lost both.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer. I like him, but I don't know how much longer we'll be watching him.
Man, Mickey Gall. I'm telling you, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I am too. I think he's got character. You know, he seems like a decent dude. Look at him on that guillotine.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So, looking at this, which celebrity does Mickey Gall remind you of in this picture?
Like a Jim Carrey.
Boom. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I sent this picture to Richard Casual, and I put down Mickey Gall or Jim Carrey. I don't know, but he looks just like Jim Carrey.
The haircut's not doing any favors.
No, but Mickey Gall, fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I want to see him succeed, you know?
So do I, man. So do I. It'd be a great story. Yeah. One professional fight in, you make it to the UFC, and you just have this epic run.
Epic run?
No, I'm saying if he continues in the UFC, you know, like I want to see him do well, and he has this epic run, and all of a sudden, like he goes down as one of the fighters with the most time in the octagon, and most fights in the octagon. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be really cool. I like the guy.
Good wishes for Mickey Gall. All right.
Yeah.
Those are the only fights we're going to cover. There was a few more, but just to make sure we cover the performance bonuses again. Kyler Phillips and Paiva, fight of the night, so they each got 50K, baby. Performance of the night for Darren Elkins as well, 50K for him, and then Adrian Yanez, 50K for him also.
Yeah. Also,
well deserved.
The fight that started off the night. I don't want to talk too much about it, but the Hannah Goldie versus Diana Belbita. Watch out for Belbita.
Yeah,
she's nasty.
I need to go back and watch that one still.
Yeah. It's I love that division, the strawweight division, but she's very unorthodox in her striking, but very skilled, I think, in her striking. She's someone to watch.
I'll have to check it out then. I'm sure we have a moment of silence.
Yeah, we got a moment of silence. Let's see. How do I want to order this? Chris Daukaus versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. Who knows? That got canceled. It looks like it got rescheduled. I always want to see Chris Daukaus fight. I like both the Daukaus boys.
Yep.
So, yeah, it would have been fun to see that. This card could have used, I think, a heavyweight fight. Would have been nice to have a heavyweight fight in there. I still really enjoyed the card, but it is what it is. Let's see. Sunsal versus Kyler Phillips. Obviously, that would have been probably better for Phillips if that fight happened, but who knows if he would have made an extra $50,000. But he probably would have got his win bonus. And then the big one, for me at least, was Aspen Ladd versus Maycee Chasson. I'm a big Aspen Ladd fan. I want to see her fight, and we didn't get to. That's a bummer. So
that is a bummer.
That's the moment of silence.
Well, that's it. So I think we talked about it before. We're going to try to do as many fight companions as possible for fight nights.
Yeah.
For the, any major pay-per-view events. Probably won't have a fight companion, but we'll recap the day after.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Next week, we got a great matchup in Sean Strickland versus Uriah Hall as the main event. The Chris Daukaus fight got rescheduled to that weekend, so that's in the co-main event. Not the most stacked as far as name power, but there's some cool matchups on here. I'm excited.
Are you a little surprised that Strickland's already getting a main event? That he's headlining a card?
I'm not, because his style and the way he talks, that guy is pure money for the UFC, I think. If they promote him correctly, he can bring in a lot of people, I think.
Oh, you have smiling Sam Alvey
still doing it.
Fighting. Yeah, man.
Cheyenne Eyes on there. Hani Yaya versus Tung Ho Kang. Great fight. Brian Barberina versus Jason Witt. Banger. Come on.
We have Nico Montano.
Yeah, versus Wu Yanan.
Wasn't she the one that won the belt after the... And then
a bunch
she was like, I don't want to fight again for a while after that. So she's going to go down.
Right?
She's going to go down as a former UFC champion, though.
Yeah.
She's in the history books.
And always will be. There's some fun fights on there, man.
All right, man. Well, that's all I got this week. Do you have anything else, Will?
Nope.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to another week of Story of the Fight. Don't forget to catch us on Fight Companions as well.
Yeah, like and subscribe, all that bullshit. Hit the bell, because that way you'll know when we go live.
Awesome. Thanks for listening to another week's Story of the Fight, everybody.